Welcome back to another episode of TVGP's We Roguelike It, the show where we are playing just an endless amount of Rogue Legacy 2. I'm your host, Boston, joining me as always is
I was going to
Moonpair.
say, hi. I was hoping you would say an endless amount of roguelikes because I was going to say, yeah, so many that we're extending one by 2 more weeks.
That's right. We just can't get enough of Rogue Legacy 2.
Uh-huh.
That being said, I played a lot of Rogue Legacy 2 this week.
So did I, dude. I played basically nothing else this week because I was so
Yep.
busy. It was like, oh, I can get a 20-minute run in.
2 hours later, that run went well.
Uh-huh. Pretty much, yes.
Yeah, I got a chance to try out a ton of new stuff this week.
Uh-huh.
I got, going down on my list here in my notes, I got a note, or like a relic. It says your weapon does double damage but has a 2-second cooldown. That sucks.
Uh-huh.
That all the way sucks.
It's really great and then really terrible at the same time.
Mm-hmm. It would probably be really good with the class that I unlocked and kind of enjoyed, which is Ronin.
Okay, that's the one I have then next on my unlock thing. They're the ones with the
straw
bamboo
hat.
hats, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Ronin is really interesting because you can attack straightforward or at a 45-degree angle up and down. And your attack is really slow, and it does quite a bit of damage, but all the way at the end of your attack, because you attack for a pretty good amount of the screen, at the very end, there's like a little shining effect. If you hit
That's
an
the
enemy...
skill crit zone.
Yeah, that's your skill crit zone. So you're doing like, for me, it was like you hit anybody with the normal part of the sword. It's fairly long. It was like 80 damage. Hit them with that little bit there, and it was 125. But you having to be at like the perfect distance proved to be kind of challenging.
Difficult.
Yeah, it was pretty. It's a pretty interesting class in a lot of ways. I don't remember what their class skill is. I think I used it a couple times and I was like, yeah, man, okay, whatever. I did, however, finally unlock and get to play the Bard. And
okay. Tell me how you feel about this guy, because oh boy,
I like the Bard a lot.
It's weird when you first start playing with him, but if you can get into the, excuse the pun, rhythm of playing with him, then they could be so powerful.
Yeah, it took me... I'm glad that I have been spending a lot of the beginning of my runs in that first area, especially for new characters, because like with the Bard, it's sort of like, yeah, the attack does a little bit of damage if you like put the note on top of an enemy, but man, once you start doing the spin kick off of it and you start chaining the stuff together, like it gets really, really strong very quickly, and that's without even...
That's without upgrades, perks, damage multipliers, anything like that.
Well, and their class skill that changes the bullets into notes too, like that's super overpowered too. Like I can see the Bard being one of those classes that if you're really good at the game, you can just destroy the game in no time flat with it. But if it doesn't click with you,
beat this game in 2 minutes with the Bard.
Right? Yeah, exactly. But like if you can't get your head around that class, I could see that being the thing where it's like, oh, it's Bard, I'm skipping it. I never play Bard, it's terrible. And that I liked the Bard a lot. I don't think I had a run that went super far with it, but I think that's more my skill and getting used to it more than anything else.
Yeah.
I honestly spent the majority of my week in the 4th area trying to get to the boss and like unseal the areas. It's the Stygian study.
Yes.
Trying to get to that area. Yeah, and like my biggest problem wasn't being unable to figure the thing out. My problem was I can't survive long enough to explore the entire area.
So, out of curiosity, have you been using just one armor set for every single people? Because this is something I did this week, which made a huge difference.
Yeah,
Um,
I had been looking at the armor sets, and there's an option under there saying like use class specific armor sets, and I was like, I bet that's a really big hint on what you're supposed to be
uh-huh,
doing here.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
Because there is so like anytime I play the mage, which by the way, I unlocked the Soul Shop alternate mage outfit, which
Oh.
is he just starts with that death scepter that you had.
All right. Yeah, that works.
Uh-huh.
Goodness.
The big two swinger, the
Yep.
crit down, crit up. Yeah, he
Yep.
starts with that. You can have a
Oh
mage that
boy.
just straight starts with that.
Spicy.
Um, but what was the saying? Something. Crap.
The
It's gone.
class armor sets starting with the
Yes,
mage.
thank you. Yes, so like the mage obviously has a lot of intelligence based stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I just went through with basically just using the chest pieces as a guideline of what bumped up armor and intelligence, what bumps up armor and dexterity, what bumps up
Sure.
armor and something else.
Right.
And
You're
then
like
I just
class stat.
exactly. So then it was like,
Right.
okay, so the mage when he gets crits, they get like an intelligence multiplier. So I'm just gonna put as much intelligence armor on
Mm.
him as I can. And then
Okay.
when you do skill crits, it jumps significantly for that.
Wow.
When I
Okay.
have the boxer, I think I'm currently using the sanguine set, which I love the fact that that's just become secret code for
Y-
vampire these
yep.
days.
It's really good.
Uh-huh. Because if you get the first level of what's it called?
Unity
Attunement,
bonus.
focus. Yes, that's the one. Thank you.
Yeah.
If you get the first set of that with the sanguine set, it gives you +2 lifesteal runes, which is those runes that give
Hello.
you HP back.
All right. Yeah. Well, now we're talking.
So as the boxer, when I literally have no self-control and just run straight at people and start punching them, like that's a good armor set for him. For me, because that's a good way to regen my life with all of the life that I've lost running directly at people who are running at me with spears or whatever.
Right.
Um, so I've started going down that rabbit hole. Downside is I also did it for runes, and the amount of times I start with somebody and then forget to equip armor and runes because I haven't
Ah.
played that class since I made this decision.
Sure.
So now I have to force myself to stop, check the menu. Are they wearing armor? Do they have runes equipped?
Right. What's their
No?
loadout
Let's
look
fix
like?
that before we go to the tower, please.
Right. Um. Speaking of that, I did spend a bunch of time this week. Going and finding the scars that I hadn't found before. So I think I have all of the
Uh-huh.
scars that I have hints for. Um,
I have
and
2 new ones, which I need to find.
oh wow, I think I can get the I think I can do the first 6, I believe, like 5 or 6. Um, and I've spent a bunch of time doing those, and trying to do as many of those red portal things I can for the
To get your empathies
empathy.
up, yeah.
Empathy, yeah. God, there's so much stuff in this game. Um, so that's turned out pretty well. I liked doing the kind of the puzzle of figuring out. Okay, well, this one says there's this area with a big thing, and it's like
You got,
think I know where that
I'm guessing you
is.
got the pizza lady one.
I did because I'm like, man, I remember that being in, and I spent a bunch of time this week too because um, I feel like I didn't have enough of the upgrades of armor pieces and runes, so I was going through like zones 1, 2, and 3 on runs where it's like, all right, this character I have seems like it's pretty strong. I'm just gonna go through and try and get as many chests in like a chest speed run I can in the first 3 zones and not worry about
Yeah.
getting a bunch of gold, fighting a bunch of enemies. Like I want to get those blueprints. I'm gonna get those upgrade blueprints, and try and get some of that stuff. That went okay, but the thing that's really messing me up on this is I haven't spent a lot of money upgrading my Oh god. In the interface, in the upper left-hand corner is your level and then the percentage. And I never remember what that percentage is called. Your resolve? Yeah.
Resolve.
I have not spent enough upgrades in the tower to upgrade my resolve. So a lot of times I'm like picking up one or two relics and it's starting to squish my health bar down.
Shorten your health bar.
Right. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, that's probably the only system in this game that I probably have a problem with. Like from a design standpoint, I get it because you don't want someone to just scoop up
You don't want
literally
the Isaac
everything they see.
situation.
Yeah, it's like I finished this run, I have 55 items and I'm unstoppable.
Yeah,
But I
or
kind of want to do
the
that.
Isaac. Yeah, we know that you and I are both fans of that Isaac moment where like you get that one thing,
Yep.
and then that one thing you're like, well, this is a successful run. I got
Yep.
the one thing, and now it's successful.
My
Like
rainbow tears
in my
are
case, it's the yeah,
they're like 3 times the size of the screen. It's like, yeah, I won. Yay.
yeah, or the demon's breath thing, where you turn everybody into Azazel's like firing pattern, except
Right.
it's a full screen one. And then,
Right.
oh look, there's rubber cement. Everything's dead.
I win. Yeah. And I think out of the 4,000 systems this game has, I feel like that's the only system that like I get, but I'm always sort of like, yeah, okay, and sure, all right, fine, grumble.
Uh-huh.
No.
Yeah. Oh, I've got some things to tell you about the new systems, by the
Oh,
way.
okay.
Because guess what?
I'm
It's
ready.
it's not over yet.
Oh man.
So my one of the things as well, it's well worth it, by the way, if you go into the soul shop. There is if you unlock enough stuff, there is a lock the right hand air to always be a specific type of class, by the way.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I don't think I've bought enough stuff for that to show up. That's interesting. Okay.
So I would have a look into that, because then it's a case of, because I know I need 23,000 gold to unlock the multiple airs option, which I think increases it from probably 3 to 5 airs every run.
Oh, okay.
But my right hand side one used to be locked as the chef, because it's like, if the rest are garbage, I have a chef.
I always got my buddy chef.
Now it's, if the rest are locked, I have a boxer, and I'm good with that, because I love the boxer. Well, also, I have unlocked his special weapon, which he doesn't punch things. He fires explosive, like boxing blows across the screen.
Wow. Okay. I kind of like that option too, because there's a lot of stuff in this game of being able to increase your, what is it, affinity or whatever it is with a specific character type. If you want to just work on one over and over again. Oh, speaking of, I totally forgot I unlocked another class, that Dragon Lancer?
The Dragon Lance, I hate that character so much. I'm so bad with them.
I get it, and I don't like it. That's not the. I'm never, like, in fighting games, I'm never gonna play a charge character. I'm never gonna play like a grappler or anything. And this,
you're not a Guile, you're not a Zangief, you're a Ryu, straight up.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, actually, correction, it's us, so we're Dans. Let's be honest.
I'll take it. But yeah, like it feels very much like a Guile equivalent in this game, and I'm like, I get it.
I do not like that character.
Yeah, like I get it, and I get the idea of how to use it, but I would need to practice way more to get any level of good with that character. Yeah,
same. I'm not a huge fan of the Dragonlance side. They can just go straight to hell as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I think I unlocked a new class, but I don't know, so who knows? So let's talk about my biggest pet peeve with this game.
Okay.
And ironically enough, it's a pet peeve that I also ran into last time I was playing a roguelike for this show.
Okay.
Not the specific last time, but this pet peeve happened with a game we covered, specifically Hades. So my biggest pet peeve is if you quick resume, oh boy, does it not like you having achievements.
Oh, yeah. That's been a real problem
Because,
going on that platform.
yeah, because minus spoiler alert, I beat the game.
Nice.
And I didn't get a single achievement for 90% of those people because it was a quick resume, quick resume, quick resume, quick resume.
Oh,
Great!
bummer.
Amazing!
Yikes.
Love it! Fantastic! Always
Yeah.
so much fun.
Man, so many of the achievements in this game, too, are like, you're going to get a couple up front, and then the rest of them, you need to do 100% of everything. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's the
oh,
Lego
cool.
game problem all over
Yes.
again.
Yep. You finished a
Where,
level.
like,
Also, you 100%ed everything in this class. It's like, oh, God.
yes, exactly. So I'm missing a whole bunch of achievements in this game, which is annoying because I don't know if there's any that I want to cause to trigger again. I don't know if I'll have to start a new game to do so.
Oh, right.
That's the annoying part, especially
Right.
considering once you beat the game.
Hmm.
Welcome to the world of threads, Boston.
Oh, no. Tell me what threads are.
So do you remember how on Hades, when you beat Hades, when you go through the portal, you have that heat thing, and you can
Yeah.
turn up the heat to
Right.
make it harder and gain more rewards.
Mm-hmm.
That's threads.
Oh, boy. That's rough for a game that's as difficult as this.
So I jumped into thread 1 because I'd already beaten thread 0.
Mm.
Um, and in order to do so, you need to activate 2 points of articulation in the figure, or in this case, 2 additional items of difficulty,
Mm-hmm.
which ranges from, oh, the enemies have increased health, to the enemies do more damage, to you're more likely to see elites,
Oh, sure.
to here is a version of the boss that is harder because
No
they are
thanks.
from before something happened. And there's
Ah.
an achievement related to every single version of those bosses.
Okay, interesting.
This is how I knew I wasn't getting the achievements because I wasn't looking. And then I
Right.
beat that version of the boss, and I was like, "Where's my achievement?" It's like, "Oh, you've got 2 achievements." Like, oh no, I don't.
Like, no,
This
I've
is New
done a
Game
lot in
Plus.
this game. Don't you dare.
This is New Game Plus. There ain't no way in hell
That's
this
right.
is me not getting the achievement. So don't even start with that jazz.
Right.
So yeah.
That's fun. Goodness.
Uh-huh.
Yikes.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
So I'm currently on thread 1,
Okay.
which is New Game Plus 1.
Right. Just New Game Plus, not
And
New Game Plus Plus.
yes, exactly. That is probably thread 2, which it looks like it's going
Right.
to need 4 things to activate instead of 2.
Oh, boy. Okay.
And
Hmm.
I'm hoping that by beating the bosses in New Game Plus, it will give me the achievements for beating the bosses in New Game.
That would be nice if it did.
Yes, I'm hoping so. But the problem is I've got to get up to like the 5th boss to figure it out because that's where my achievements stopped. So it's like,
Yeah, I don't even
great.
know. Did I even get an achievement for beating the third boss? I'm
You
not even
should have
sure.
done
I'm not even
because I'm
sure. I'd
pretty
have to go
sure
look.
every single one of them have achievements. And if
Yeah.
you've been quick resuming like me, you're screwed.
I'm living that quick resume life, man.
Do
Boy,
because
what a
spoiler
bummer.
alert, it's handy and it's useful.
Also, spoiler alert, I forget that it works. So, like, I just switch over to Forza Horizon 5, and it's like, yeah, you're in the middle of a race. I'm like, yeah, cool. Switch over to Rogue Legacy 2, and they're like, yeah, you're in the middle of a run. I'm like, yeah, man, cool. I'm doing the stuff.
Uh-huh.
I got multiple games. Man.
So hold on a minute. Let's see here.
Are you
Okay.
achievement looking?
Yes, I am.
Hmm.
I got the pillow investments achievement, which like this is ridiculous. Like I've got 2 achievements that you don't have.
Okay.
One of them is boss 5. It's the boss from Zone 4, so it's the boss
The one I'm
in my
in.
opinion, the worst boss in the game.
Right.
It's that one.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't look like we've got any achievements other than that.
Yikes.
There's one I should have got but don't have. There's one I don't have. Yeah, and great. Fantastic.
Bummer. Well, Moon, why not just pour another 75 hours into?
The worst part is you already know my answer to the question for the scientists.
Right. Let's get. Let's just start a brand new game.
I'm going to keep playing this. Like, it's ridiculous.
This would definitely be a thing that if they put it on PS4 or PS5, I would pick it back up again and start back over. Like I would on my platform of choice, I'd be happy to not only support them by buying another copy, but definitely kind of having it on your daily driver, so to speak.
Especially for you without a clicky clacky.
Yeah, that's right. Click, click, click. Any final thoughts here for Rogue Legacy 2 or our week 6? We'll let the scientists take over next week, but
this is a very good game, and I wish it wasn't.
Yeah,
and I wish I get a little bit fed up sometimes of like roguelikes taking the mickey with their achievements, because I'm all for being an achievement hunter. Clearly, I'm also for people not being D-bags about their achievements.
Right.
Like, why? Like, okay, so I didn't get the achievement for beating the 6th boss. There's one I didn't get. I didn't get the achievement for the 7th boss. I didn't get the achievement for the 8th boss.
Oh, jeez. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Yeah, I feel like you're kind of in the zone I was when the first game clicked with me, where I'm like, there's a ton in here, and I really like it, and I'm going to be playing this game for a very long time, because there's just seemingly no end to the amount of content in this game. And then they came out with the second one, and it has way more stuff in it, which, you know, good and bad. But
I don't know.
It's great. Go play it. If you've been listening to any of the 6 weeks of Rogue Legacy 2 we've been talking about, with pretty much the longest episodes we've had for this show, if any of this sounds good, you should really go pick it up and play it. It is definitely a top tier roguelike, which hopefully the scientists will agree with us.
Yep. I mean, there's a reason we did 6 weeks on it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, well, that's it for Rogue Legacy 2 for us. We'll do the ranking next week. But before we go and talk about our next game, which we don't do this too often, but we're going to play a brand new release that's coming out this week at time of recording, which is Cult of the Lamb, which is Devolver Digital published, and it is a combination of hack and slash dungeon crawling roguelike and cult simulator and sort of Stardew Valley in a weird way. So we will be playing that for the next couple of weeks. I hope you'll join us with Cult of the Lamb, and we'll see you all next run. Bye.
Boy.